Some of the work I do, I was talking about working with schools, with their school libraries, and I've framed it up in school libraries as three main points. We're partners in collaborative learning. It's shifted from that you came to the library and you consumed the information that was there, and the librarian or the library collection was the expert, the be-all and end-all, and the end point. That now we collaborate and partner with the student, the parent, the teacher, wanting to learn more. Libraries foster literacies, multiple literacies. Now, when we think about information literacy, that's the literacy that libraries are usually aligned with. So that ability to recognise when information is needed, to have the ability to locate and evaluate information, to use it effectively, and then to construct personal knowledge and generate ideas. That's a Ministry of Education National Library definition of information literacy, and even with the digital explosion, it's still really valid. But we have so many more literacies that libraries foster and empower for lifelong learning. Digital literacy. So all of us as New Zealand citizens, we are all on the receiving end of any government mandated decision. And one of those is there's a series of result areas. There's result area 10 that talks about 70% of New Zealanders' transactions with government will be done in an online environment by 2017. Full stop. What does that mean for the parents in your community? What does that mean for the students in your class? What does that mean for the student starting school next year who's going to graduate into that world, which is actually next year, of digital by default? 70% of transactions with government. If it's 70% as a starting point, how long till it's 100%? And where, as a student moves through school, do they have equitable access to support, that ability to try, fail, stand up, try again, with that scaffolded support of the school library? As their curriculum choices change and refine as they prepare for leaving school, do they have equitable access through their subjects? And I would challenge and say no. That actually the library remains the only place in a school's community where, regardless of what you study, what your parents earn, and what ability you are, you still have access to that space. And libraries are that great equaliser with equity. And then segueing on from equity, libraries give equitable access as participatory learning spaces. Again, it doesn't matter what band you are, doesn't matter what level you are, doesn't matter whether you can afford to go on the trip to France or the history trip to wherever. Libraries are the place within every school that, regardless of where you sit, within any system that measures you, you have equitable access. And I think it's really, really important when we look at some of the decisions that are being made around to have or to have not the library, the role of the library within not just the school, but the school's community. And that those considerations are pushed back strongly to those people who are in the decision-making seat.